been getting lots of questions on the internet about our new Brewer Fitness Kore6 Treadwall. I figured I'd give you guys a tour. So here, check it out. So here's how we leave it when no one's climbing. We've decided to add these pads to the side just to kind of make sure if any of us hits the edges or the corners that it's all right. We end up pulling out our crash pad, pulling this one out as well. And that's our climbing configuration. So we've added some stickers and other fun things around. So here's kind of generally what it looks like. We are almost at the ceiling up here. You can see we kind of scratched the ceiling a little bit when we put it up. This right here is the hydraulic unit. This is what slows the wall down as you move. There's a lever here that goes from 0 to 10. 0 is pretty much locked, maybe 250 pounds of pressure is needed to kind of help get things moving. And 10 is about 50 pounds or so of weight is needed to help the wall move. And so right now I'm about a 5. I think my wife is a 6 and my son's a 7 and my daughter's at 10, and we have to kind of help pull the wall down a little bit for her, but she's not quite 50 pounds. This is the digital display. It tracks calories and time and how many feet that you've gone. So that's been pretty fun. You have brushes up here which help brush the holds as they come around. I'll show you guys the back. You can see there's a nice X brace here that helps rigidity of the system. And the holes just rotate through. So on this 10-foot model, at 35 degrees is only 8 feet tall. So we're able to fit this into a standard 8-foot tall room, like our recreation room that you see here. We did get the 6-foot wide model, just to help easier be able to easily move back and forth, and instead of the 4-foot wide, just felt very just up and down. As well, so I said before, is 10-foot model, which means that at -5 degrees, it's 10 feet tall. And at -35 degrees, it is 8 feet tall. So we're kind of stuck at the -35. One of the downsides to this model is if you want to change between different heights, you have a hand crank you can use to kind of do that for a little bit. But at some point, if I needed to go all the way up from -35, which is where I'm at, to -5, I have to actually move this bolt here to this and lift the unit up. And it's kind of, this is a 900-pound unit, so it takes a little bit of work to kind of move this thing up all the way to -5. So I don't really expect myself to be able to do that during a single session. But they do have other models. This is the home model. So they're kind of thinking you're kind of sticking with one particular area of interest. So essentially, we move this up to 0, up to 10. As you pull on the holds, the wall rotates. There's a locking mechanism down here that when your body is on, if you're pushing in on this foothold here, just that weight on that panel causes the unit to stop. I can't push. I'm pushing really hard and I can't get it to go down. But as soon as I release pressure, it allows it to move. So kind of an interesting design. It does make it a little bit hard if you're doing, say, back steps or things which don't put straight in pressure on the board to get it to stop. But we haven't found that as a huge deal yet. So just kind of give you, this is the upper shaft with sprockets. So essentially the way it works is you have a shaft across the top, a shaft across the bottom with teeth on it, and there's chains that run around both sides. That all of these panels are connected to a metal stiffener on the back. The metal stiffener is what actually holds the thread for the holds, similar to a T-nut, but it's not actually a T-nut because it's welded into that metal stiffener. And both of those things are screwed directly onto the chains. So the chains allow the movement, and like I said, the hydraulic unit is what slows it down. So this right chain, the top of this right sprocket, is connected to this hydraulic unit here. And that's what allows the system to perform the way it is. Now, other than the limitation that I mentioned here and potentially with the feet at the bottom, you are limited to hold sizes. So you can only have a hold that is 6 inches tall and 2.5 inches in depth. It's because, as you can see down here, it gets really close to the bottom of the floor as it's coming under. So you got to be careful about that as you're figuring out what type of holds. We went with the Brewer Fitness holds that came with, that was an option with the unit. Set of 45 holds, of green being the biggest ones, blue being the medium, and the red being the least in cut. And then we've added on some Metolius holds here and some So Ill mini jugs as well. So I think that about does it for my tour of the Treadwall. Hope you enjoyed it.